Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video, and welcome to what I believe is the first Challenger Spectate, and I'm saying that correctly, of season 2023. So yeah, Challenger Spectate. People are already in Challenger, which just baffles my mind, to be honest. But we're watching Angerin. Obviously, we've watched him plenty of times. I'm jungling more, and to be honest, for those that are wondering, you've not done a champion pool video yet? Partially because I myself have not finalized, especially, they must know people in this game, but I myself haven't finalized my champ pool. Now, what just happened there? So, that is a good example, in my opinion, of the differences between high and low rating. There's many differences, but one of the differences. I guarantee the only big reason that they actually went for that bot lane play is because all these players play with each other. They all play with each other. They're all high rating players. I bet that Lucian with that Nami, they might be a duo if they're not quite in, you know, even though Angerin is Challenger, not everybody in this game will Challenger, so it might allow duo queue. But I bet that Lucian is known to just walk into that bush. I bet that he's known of they go aggressive level 1. He never leashes. They go for it. So they know they can beat that. They can counter that by grouping as 5 in that bush. But anyway, going back onto the point of I don't actually have a champ pool video yet. I've not finalized my jungle champion pool. I know Belveth is in it. I know Zac is in it. I know maybe 1 or 2 more, but that's about it. So Wukong is on the borderline for me, but I also can't remember if he's getting nerfed in the upcoming patch, so he might be. But what I wanted to do is I used to play Wukong many moons ago. I wanted to watch an amazing solo queue player play Wukong, and it might help me decide should I give him a go. Tomorrow, technically, I'm recording this on Wednesday, my day off. This will be out as today's second video. This is exclusive YouTube content, as it were. I'm not streaming. And yeah, maybe in tomorrow's play session, if I'm watching this, I'm kind of like, maybe I'll play a game of Wukong tomorrow. That might be the vibe. We also have a Anivia player in mid lane, which is always interesting, taking teleport. I am seeing a different playstyle, by the way, so it's a growing playstyle for Anivia. I do pay a bit attention to the champions that I like, of what builds are going on. Obviously, there are some builds I just don't like or disagree with, like the Everfrost build on Anivia. I never did, don't like it. But the growing build on Anivia is you go teleport, because you actually go more of a scaling build, that you do Rod of Ages. So you do Rod of Ages, then Seraphs, then Deathcap, and you actually have a lot of ability power. So it's kind of more of a burst build than anything else. But yeah, it's quite strong. Oh god, my boom arm just fell over. Sorry. Let me fix that. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, so Wukong jungle, what's the strengths of Wukong jungle? What's potentially the weaknesses? Well, the strengths of it is he's one of those junglers, and there's differences here or there, but he's one of those junglers that if he starts his snowball, he can just absolutely annihilate and just blitz, a game. He can take over. He's not bad as a 1v1 duelist. He's pretty good as a team fighter. He's just overall, I would say, a pretty strong champion. So timing-wise, walks in the bush, clears the ward straight away, and a dive is looking likely. So he's putting a ward up north just to scout a bit more vision. This is risky, I will say. Lovely polymorph to get the timing. Good tanking by the Wukong. Makes the kill go easy. Bit of Anivia. Oh my god, is she doing it? I need to show you what Anivia just did, because it's very, very rare. Okay, so Anivia's going to get ganked. They both use flash. All of their hard CC is gone because Vi used Q. Teleport. You'd think she's dead. Egg form, and the teleport continues. So a lot of people do not know that actually is genuine what happens. But yes, if you don't get hard CC'd, and even if you get put in egg form, your teleport will continue. They have to CC you. So considering Vi already used her Q, Fizz wasn't level 6, doesn't have ulti, they didn't have any more hard CC. So really smart play by Anivia there. That was actually very nice. So Sheen, first item for Wukong. Again, Sheen, incredibly strong snowballing item for the early game. It might honestly be a little bit too strong, potentially. Wukong, as you can see here, is pinging his route. Now, one thing from when I've watched Angerin that I like, he actually has quite a similar jungle playstyle to myself. Obviously, he's a lot better than me, but my jungle playstyle is it's kind of like being an all-round, not really specializing in any area of jungle, but also try to maintain dragon control is my biggest thing. I maintain dragon control over Rift Herald control. But I think that's what Angerin does. He doesn't play just power farming junglers. He doesn't just play, I'm just going to gank and never farm. He tries to do both. You're never going to maximize both because you're trying to do both styles. But if it works, it's a really big payoff because you're still farming well, but you're still getting ganks off. There's moments in jungling that, you know, we've all had a Master Yi on the enemy team that never ganks and's power farmed. He gets pretty strong from that. Or we've been against a Rammus that never farms and only ganks. They both can work, but I'd say this playstyle is what the average jungler, and I'm not calling Angerin average, but it's what most junglers should strive for, is a bit of everything. And a bit of everything, but with the caveat of maintain dragon control. To me, you watch my videos, it drives me up the wall when I see my jungler. If I'm not playing in jungle, it drives me up the wall if my jungler's not focusing dragons. You are literally, and the way that I would always define it, a kill's great here or there. Like that Vi just killed Cassante. Great, they get some gold. They get some items. But items are eventually inevitable. You're going to get gold. You're eventually going to get items. That dragon, these stats that blue team has now got, the 9 ability haste and 9% attack speed per stack for the Hex deck, the enemy team simply cannot get that. It's not like, oh, that you can do a bit of a turn play, like the Cassante could do a bit of a turn play, kill the Fiora, and he makes up for that gold. You can do that. You can't now, the Vi cannot now take that dragon back. There's no mechanic for that. That is the logic in my mind of why I want always dragons, because it is absolute strength that the enemy team cannot match. If you get behind in the early game and you manage to survive really long, and yes, you're behind in kills, but you got every dragon, if you hold out long enough, that eventual strength is going to come in handy. So that's my philosophy of it. Again, people will probably disagree, agree to it. It's like I've always said, in League of Legends, we all have our different opinions, we all have our different play styles, but that's just my take. Again, at the end of the day, this is HuzzyGames, and I'm just teaching you or showing you what my philosophy of the game is. So Cassante goes for a very hyper-scaly fight. To be honest, that was just too obvious. Like, at this stage of the game, the Cassante is not going to want to fight a Fiora like crazy amounts after she has Sheen and you don't have any even component finished. So for a Cassante to go aggressive there, that just alarm bells for the Fiora of going, someone's here. And that's the thing, you read the game, you read the situation. I'm sure that all of you do, but maybe you don't actively think about it all the time. But that is something that you should be thinking about all the time, is what's going on? Why is my lane opponent? And you kind of read your lane opponent, and a lot of the time lane opponents have quite a set pattern of they play fairly passive, or they play always aggressive, or they miss farm, or they lean to one side of a lane. If that pattern changes in any way, always ask yourself very quickly why. If you're against the most passive mid laner of all time and then they start to go a bit aggressive, why? The likelihood is their jungler's coming or a support's roaming. It's very likely. So that's the thing. It's kind of think about the pattern of the person that you're playing against. And some people don't do that. Even in high ratings, some people don't do that. And generally, those are the players that are like just not very good at adjusting playstyle. Meanwhile, Wukong goes for an ulti. He tries to open with ulti. They get the kill anyway. Nice by the Anivia. But yeah, good kill on the Fizz. The Nami tried to come over, but obviously she's trying to make her way back to bot. Again, another thing that I've even had questioned recently. I've played a couple support games here or there if I want to feel like I want to chill a little bit more. And I have had people in my Twitch chat going, why don't you roam? I don't like roaming on support. It's a very, I don't know, old school approach to it. Like, I would say new school support playstyle is roaming. Old school playstyle isn't. I fundamentally, when I play League, if I'm picking a role, I want to play that specific role. And support to me, I'm supporting the AD carry. That's the role. Meanwhile, Cassante kills Fiora without any items. But that's the role that I'm playing. I'm actively supporting the AD carry. That's why I'm in duo in bot lane with the AD carry. So that's why I don't love to roam. It's the same thing of when I play mid, I don't over roam because I'm playing mid. And that's why if ever people go, God, why does Huz hate Katarina players or whatever so much? Because to me, it's like they're not really playing mid. They've picked mid, but they're not really playing mid. And, you know, some people won't have a problem with that, but some, like, it annoys me. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. But yeah, that's just kind of my take on it. And let me know what your take is. You know, that's the thing. Obviously, if you're someone that does overly roam, you'll probably be completely fine with it. Meanwhile, what Wukong did there was just very clever, by the way, if for those that didn't notice. He actively stopped doing any damage for a while to allow the cannon minion to kill the plate, therefore denying the Lucian Nami early game lane a plate. So I am starting to see some people play Lucian Nami. I've seen a couple of them do okay this season so far, but overall, it just doesn't seem great anymore. Again, the Nami nerfs that, you know, nerfed her interaction with Electrocute. The game really does feel quite scaling heavy at the moment. And obviously Lucian, just in comparison to other AD carries, he just doesn't have that scaling. So I don't know. He's fun to play. You know, even I've had fun playing Lucian over the years, but he just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem too good at the moment. So the Vi is doing a build that I actually thought died out, if I'm completely honest. She's doing a Glacier, the Chainsword Rush. Enemy team is crazy forcing this, by the way. They managed to pull it off for now. Anivia ult is up with then a flash. The unfortunate thing is the tower's dead. Wukong is in the area with a smite E. Will then eventually obviously turn up, kill the Vi, and save it, ultimately the Anivia's life. That was a very aggressive play by the Vi and Fiora. Obviously, technically, if you've got Fiora, you should actually have complete advantage in matchup-wise against a Cassante. But we even saw Cassante's killed this Fiora in the 1v1, so it's a bit peculiar. But it's weird. Fiora's not that hard to play. I think most people would probably agree. And by the way, look where Angerin is going straight away. Dragon. Dragon has spawned. I'm going Dragon. I'm a jungler. I want Dragon. This is why I like watching Angerin, because it's a playstyle that I can learn from in what he does different to me, but I also can see my own playstyle in it. I also just noticed Anivia's build, and that makes me sad. So she has gone Everfrost. The only reason I think she's gone Everfrost is because she's against the Fizz. That to me is the only saving grace of it. I still would never do it. You know, if people go, oh, would you do that then, Huz? No, I never, ever, ever would buy an Everfrost on Anivia. Part of it, and you know, I'm not calling this Anivia bad. They're clearly a better player than me, you could say. But I have enough trust in myself that I can outplay something like a Fizz with a more damage-focused carry build or scaling build. So that fundamentally is what I would say. Is I sometimes see Everfrost use as in lack of confidence. It's the same of when I've seen that damage. It's the same of when I've seen Nami players, not Nami players, Ahri players do it. It's just sometimes it's not the better thing to do. So Nami's come over to try and help and then ends up just dying. It's very squishy, obviously. Angry just going to do a bit of damage. He's going in early. You'll see he's just going to be on the hovering. Nice polymorph. Lovely Lulu ulti. Wukong going to get a kill. Lulu ulti again. Rampage is Angerin, playing that incredibly well. Holding the tower aggro to give his team confidence of, oh yeah, you can go in. I will just say big shout out there to the Lulu. She polymorphed perfectly and ulted perfectly. So that actually, MVP a little bit in that fight was actually the Lulu. He's now doing something that, again, as a jungler, I need to do a little bit more of, is actively take some turret plates. So you can see here, he could have technically left this completely alone for the Zeri, but he's completely shared the tower. The plate did run out. They got, I think, 2 plates before the 14-minute mark turned over. So, you know, maybe Zeri could have had more individual gold, but there's that kind of, as I've said, he's team playing but carrying. But it's more, he knows, he wants to maximize his strengths, and that's the thing. He's playing a champion that can, I'm not going to say Wukong can 1v5 carry, but a very fed Wukong is going to be a hard thing to deal with, and he knows that. So he's trying to actively get fed. And that is something I will say that I don't sometimes do. Now, very hopefully, you know, I'm going to try and excite you a bit. We've got a couple of jungle games upcoming, one in particular that I do try to get fed in, and let's just say we pop off. So that is something that I myself need to definitely do more of. And it's not just for jungle, it's my playstyle in general. I don't always just try to get really fed. And I know that sounds stupid, like, Huz, surely every game you're trying to get fed. No, if you hear my language when I'm playing, I'm like, I just kind of want to scale. I just want to get to mid to late game, like if I'm playing Anivia or something. That was a bad result. If I'm playing Anivia, it's like, yeah, just want to scale, just want to get there. That's not the attitude that a lot of challenger players have. Even if they're playing Anivia, they're not like, yeah, I'm just going to be fairly passive, just don't die in lane phase and just get to late game. No, they are actively going, I want to get fed. So it's something that I do need to get better on if I want to, especially this year, push for Grandmaster. And I will say hilariously that, you know, I do think we could potentially get there. But of all years for me to decide, I'm going to really push it. You know, last year we pushed it, got over 140 LP in Master. This year, you know, just to say to everybody's climbing rank this year, it is going to be harder to climb to a higher rank. Why? Because there's now 2 splits. So they're officially made 2 splits in a rank season. So there's split 1, split 2. And in the middle of those 2 splits, there is a reset. Now, I don't think the reset will be overly harsh, you could say, but there is going to be a reset. It does kind of feel, I don't know about you guys, that the Vi and the Fiora must know each other, or they're duo or something, and obviously they are only doing things together. Oh, really good Lulu. Oh my god, that Lulu ult was insane. That Lulu ultimate cancelled Vi Q to get over the wall. That was very good. But yeah, it just kind of feels that like the Fiora and the Vi are tied at the hip, that they're only doing things together. The Vi's not really helping anybody else, especially, you know, you could say the bot lane, it's a Lucian Nami lane. You'd want that to snowball if anything, and I don't even think she went bot lane. So a little bit weird by the jungler to only go top. Yeah, I don't know. Fizz has got Leandries. That's peculiar. That is not a Fizz item, but okay. Again, Leandries, I will say, is a strong item. One thing is worth mentioning with the balance. I am very much looking forward to the next patch. The next upcoming patch, they're actually looking to change healing, to nerf it, because obviously it's been broken for probably over 2 years now. So instead of nerfing Grievous Wounds, they're buffing it, which is lovely. The only weird thing is apparently they're buffing Blade of the Ruined King, and that is idiotic in any way. And I think it's technically for a ranged, it's a ranged buff for Bork, but that item only needs a nerf. Oh look, Vi's top lane again. Yeah, this Vi has to be duo or a teammate or something with this Fiora. It is a little bit weird how much this Vi is only going top. Ooh. I doubt he can get that kill. Nice Q damage, but that'll be it for now. Cassante's dead again to probably the duo Q. Again, just to make the point clear, because people are like, Huz, you can't duo in Master. You actually can again at the beginning. They've changed it for the first 3 patches of the season. Reminding everyone, you couldn't duo if your MMR was Master. You now can duo if your MMR is Master. You just cannot duo if you're in the rank of Master or an above. So if you're in Diamond 1, but you have Challenger MMR, which is a very likely thing and can happen at the beginning of a season for Challenger players, you can actually still duo. So it's a bit weird that they did that, you know, from Riot talking about getting potentially rid of duo Q to then helping duo Q. It's a bit weird, and that has been one of the key things I would say that a lot of us have been a bit confused about with the Riot dev team and Riot balance team and all these kind of teams. Is there's just a lot of confusion and a lot of contradicting themselves only a few weeks or a few months down the road. And I will say we partially do know why. So Riot themselves hinted at it, but I have had a little information. They lost a lot of people during COVID times, and apparently quite a big part of it, and Riot will never admit it, is obviously different companies reacted different times in COVID. Obviously, we all worked from home. You know, I still do. But work from home became a big thing, even for game devs. But when the world has calmed down with the pandemic, some companies have embraced work from home. And, oh, you know, stay work from home. We're as productive or sometimes more productive from work from home, or gives you the option that you can work from home. Riot apparently was very like, nope, you're all back in the office. Apparently, that's what I've heard. You know, I'm not going to say who told me, but I have heard Riot has been very like, nope, you're back in the office or else. And some employees basically called their bluff saying, I'm not coming back to the office. And Riot was really unhappy. So some employees actively seeked other employment that actually would allow them to go and work from home. So that's basically what's happened, from what I can tell. And obviously, not all the staff and the employees would have left for that reason, but apparently it was a decent amount. So yeah. Oh, Lucian positioning. Yeah, straight into the Fed Wukong. He doesn't actually get the kill, because there was actually a kind of a weird engage there. Wukong, look how much damage he has. Weird Lulu ultimate. That's the first one. She's been really good so far. Cassante ultimate, another kill for Wukong. And this is it. He's got Divine Sundra, strong item, Black Cleaver, decent item, and now he's going over to the Baron. Again, I literally can see my own playstyle on this guy. You know, some junglers would be, right, let's push and get into the inhib. I myself would have been, right, let's get the Baron. But there we go. 806, perfect Wukong gameplay. But what I hope you guys can see in this gameplay is it's very achievable. This guy, you know, Angerin, he played really well. But there is no insane mechanics that he pulled off this game. He just was clinical. He farmed well and he ganked well. That's it. There's nothing more complicated with that. He out-farmed the Vi. He out-ganked the Vi. He's going to be the more fed jungler while also maintaining every single dragon. And then ultimately he was going to get the Baron as well. But also he sacrificed Rift Heralds. That's what I do. So like this is why I like watching him, because it does show that my rough general gameplay of jungle, it's not going to get me challenger, but it works. That's the thing. I see my playstyle in Angerin. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, very quickly, I forgot to actually show his runes. Conqueror, Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand, Magical Footwear, Cosmic Insight, and then attack speed, attack damage, and health. I am finding a lot more people are taking health over armor or magic resist in the 3rd slot now. I think health is just quite a strong thing at the moment, so even though Kraken and Bork can earlier in every game and Divine, I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal